Chelsea is taking on Spurs today, and the game is happening at Stamford Bridge. It's Chelsea hosting Spurs, but they really had a very big tussle out into the Carabao Cup semi-final. That saw Chelsea beat them at Stamford Bridge by 2 goals to nil, and Chelsea went ahead at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and they won by 1 goal to nil. And Antonio Conte couldn't hit his former team that he used to manage that saw it win very many trophies into his hand in there, and Chelsea, and he was edged by a manager who goes by Thomas Tuchel. So this game again is happening today in there, and we are here to bring you the full match insight that features the match preview, predictions, and so on and so forth. This is the Rokani Media Football, and we are really doing this as usual. You know, this is what we do on a daily on this channel. We stream, we really bring you all the latest news and information. Today, you know that 2 games of football, as far as the top 4 was concerned, have taken place. One, Man City have drawn with Southampton. They've dropped a single point. They've dropped 2 points. That means Man City is now at 54 points in there for you. That is Man City in there for you. And when you look at Chelsea, they've now leveled the number of games they've played with Chelsea, and both have played 23 games. Chelsea is at 44 points, Man City is at 57. That means if Chelsea are playing tomorrow or today, they're really going to be a game ahead, and they're really going to be at 47 points. And if at all they win tomorrow or today, they're really going to be 10 points behind a team which goes by names of Man City, and just 2 points ahead of Liverpool in there for you. Then later, Manchester United was the first to play. They played a team which goes by the names of West Ham, and they scored a late winner in there. That's how United come up and really win that game of football in there, and United are really way up there to the 4th position in there. Rashford's goal pushes Manchester United into the 4th position in there with 22 games played in there for you. So what does that show you? Chelsea is playing on Tottenham Hotspur today. They're having 44 points. They've played a game more than Manchester United, and if at all United wins its game in hand, they'll be 3 points behind Chelsea in there for you. So that means it's not also safe for Chelsea into those positions of the Premier League in there to be to the Champions League positions, as it will be just 3 points above Manchester United. Now, what makes the game of Chelsea and Tottenham very crucial? This is the cruciality of this game. Spurs have played 19 games. Chelsea have played 23 games. That means Chelsea has played 4 games more than Spurs. Spurs is at 36 points, and Chelsea is at 44. That means the difference is just 8 points. Those are just 3 games. If at all Spurs wins all its games, it's going to be ahead of Chelsea by how many points? By those are 12 by this is 48 by 4 points. So this means if Chelsea really want to feel like they are safe into the top 4 positions, they have to come in and beat a side which goes by names of Spurs tomorrow, and that is what they must do in the. Thomas Tuchel is really having a very hard mountain to climb, because his recent game, he lost to a team which goes by names of Man City over the weekend in there, and they saw themselves return back to winning ways in there. They want to see themselves return back to winning ways in there, because all in all, they don't look to be a team that is competing for the Premier League and very many others in there. When you look at Chelsea, their recent game, they played a side which goes by names of Brighton on Tuesday, and they drew 1-1. You remember that game very well, that played in the midweek. Spurs won the game of football in between Leicester City by 3 goals. Remember those late 2 goals scored into the 90th minute by Bergwijn in there for you, that gave a team which goes by names of Tottenham Hotspur a win in there for you. Now, as far as this game is concerned, we first start up this breakdown or the full match inside with what we call the predicted Chelsea lineup as they take on Tottenham Hotspur. How do you think Chelsea is really going to come in and stand? This is what me and my team at the Rokani Media Football think Chelsea is really going to come up and stand like. You see, the key player of a team which goes by names of Chelsea is Lukaku, and Harry Kane is the key player for the other side. That is Chelsea versus Spurs, and that is into the Premier League football in there for you. That is being brought to you here onto the Rokani Media Football. Predicted Chelsea starting lineup as usual. We get straight into the 11 players that we think Chelsea are really going to put onto the pitch to take on a side which goes by names of Spurs, because this is a die game for a team which goes by names of Chelsea. It's not a do or die, it's a die game for a team which goes by names of Chelsea. Lego into this because this is what we are here for. Kepa Arrizabalaga is the goalkeeper for a team which goes by names of Chelsea. We expect him to be in goal, provided a player who goes by the names of Eduardo Mendy is still into the African Cup of Nations. And they look at AFCON, they were drawn against Tunisia. I think Senegal let me check up AFCON fixtures, because they are still into this. They are still into the African Cup of Nations, and they were drawn. They are drawn at the round of 16. Senegal is going to play a side which goes by names of Cape Verde. That is on Tuesday. That means Eduardo Mendy is so much still there, because I really feel like Senegal is really going to come up and beat a team which goes by name of Cape Verde. And if at all Senegal might be out of the AFCON, they will be out of the AFCON after the round of 16, because I know 100% they are really going to go through the round of 16 in there for you. So Kepa being the goalkeeper of a team which goes by names of Chelsea into this one. Then we go to the three defenders. Remember, Chelsea plays with the system of 3-4-2-1. That's the system that Chelsea plays with. That is Antonio Rudiger is really going to play into that so-called right side of the central defense, into that 3-4-2 system. That is Antonio Rudiger is going to play into there, because I really feel like they really need a big enforcement into that. Thiago Silva is going to play into the center of the three-man central defense of a team which goes by names of Chelsea, and is going to play as a central defender. That is Thiago Silva in there for. He's having, by the way, a very brilliant season in there at Chelsea. That's why they even gave him another contract at a team which goes by names of Chelsea. That is Thiago Silva in there for you, playing into there very, very well. Malanga Sarr is expected to play onto the left side of the central defense. Remember, Chelsea plays with three central defenders into the system of 3-4-2-1, and Malanga Sarr is expected to play in there. Why is Malanga Sarr coming in through? Because the likes of Chalobah are really out. Christiansen, I think, is going to be given a rest into this one, and I will feel like Rudiger would have been playing onto the left side of the central defense, but I feel like Malanga Sarr put up a very big performance in there in that game of Tottenham Hotspur, and the display that he really put up might tempt the manager, who goes by the names of Thomas Tuchel, to come out and do the needful into this encounter here. Let's go to the right backs, the full backs, the left back and the full back in there. Remember, Azpilicueta coming in as the captain of Chelsea to this encounter, and he is going to play as the right back for a team which goes by names of Chelsea. Remember, Reece James would have been one of the players that would have taken this position, but he is injured, and you never know when he will return at the end of the season in here. That is the right back, who goes by names of Cesar Azpilicueta, who is the captain. Alonso Marcus is going to play off the left back of a team which goes by names of Chelsea, as they talk on a side which goes by names of Tottenham Hotspur in there, because it's really going to be a very good encounter in there, very good encounter of football. We expect very many players to play in there. Why is Marcos Alonso playing into that left back? Because he has no competition right now, because a player who goes by names of Chilwell is really injured, and that's why you see Chelsea are into the market looking for a player who plays into the left back position, and they expected Digne to come through, but Digne looked at Chelsea and thought that he is going to be just a temporary player, and even if he signed for Chelsea in January, he was not sure for him playing, because they really feel like Marcos Alonso is way better than Digne, and Digne decided to go to a team which goes by names of Aston Villa, where Steven Gerrard promised him full of playing time, or plenty of playing time, and that's why Chelsea is playing with Marcos Alonso this time around in there for you. But they're in the market looking for a left fullback in there for you, and they would like to get one on loan. I've had Serginho Dest into this. N'Golo Kante returns back into that central midfield after he played into the game of Man City and they lost to that team, and he's going to play into that central midfield in there with the Italian who goes by names of Jorginho in there, the penalty taker of a team which goes by names of Chelsea. And surprisingly, I think he's the top scorer of Chelsea this season. Can you imagine? That means he has taken lots of penalties in, because I've never seen him score through open play. Most of the goals he comes in and puts in are through penalties in there. That is a player who goes by the names of Jorginho. Jorginho in there, the Italian, though he originates from Brazil, but he gold citizenship of Italy. Hakim Ziyech is going to play off the right side of the forward in there, the attacking forward role of a team which goes by names of Chelsea, and is really going to do a very good role in there for you, because I really feel like he's so much in form, and he was not called upon into the Morocco team, that is the AFCON in there, though the Morocco team is really doing great, but he was not invited or called upon to participate in the African Cup of Nations, because all in all he failed. He missed out on a certain qualifier game, and the coach said, all right, as you decided not to come through, I'm also not going to call you again into this game of football in here. Smash the like button, comment and share, and if at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to our channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. So we get into another player who goes by the names of Ziyech. Remember, he scored that only goal that saw Chelsea lead in the game of a team which goes by names of Brighton, and later they really saw themselves doing the needful in there, because a player who goes by the names of, is it Ban, who scored the equalizer for a team which goes by names of, is it me? Is the captain? He's the captain, I think. He came out and scored that corner very well into the back of the net to level, and Chelsea lost that game, but they played very badly into that game. Mason Mount is expected to play off the left attacking forward of the Chelsea team, and he's really expected to come in and do wonders into that game of football. That is Mason Mount in there for you. And Lukaku is expected to lead the line, having really come through and criticized the manager for not starting him. There is nothing the manager is going to do, because there is no way you buy a player close to 100 million pounds and you don't start him to this game of football. So that is Romelu Lukaku starting into that game of football, as Chelsea plays a side which goes by the names of Tottenham Hotspur. This is a must win for Chelsea, because if at all they beat Spurs into this one, they will be how many points ahead of them? When you look at the standings, Chelsea would have played 4 games more, and they will be at 47 points, and Spurs will be at 36. That means they will be 11 points ahead of them. And if at all Spurs wins its 4 games, that means they will be just 1 point ahead of a team which goes by names of Chelsea. But remember, there is a big one amongst those 4 games that Spurs has in hand. That is against the team which goes by the names of Arsenal in there for you. So you expect Chelsea to come in through and do the needful. That's why they need a win into this game. This game is so crucial to Thomas Tuchel and his side into this game of football in there for you. So let's go into the pitch and see how these players are really going to be playing, all featuring onto the game of football, because it's really a game of football where most of these players are really doing great in there for you, and the statistics really are on the sides of Chelsea in there for you. I do also have the head-to-head. That is the next segment after these players have been well demarcated to the field of play, and we expect the head-to-head to tell us and give us who is really going to win. The predictions will come through onto this channel as usual onto the Rokani Football Podcast, onto the Rokani Media Football Podcast in there for you. And this is a channel in there. So the players are really coming onto the pitch as you see them. That is the back 3 of Chelsea. That's what we expect to start for a team which goes by names of Chelsea. And Cesar Azpilicueta is going to play as the right full back for this team. Then Jorginho and N'Golo Kante into the midfield. Marcus Alonso playing off the left side, that is of the full back, that is the left hand side of the pitch. Then Ziyech, the player of Morocco who was not called upon by the manager in the African Cup of Nations, is expected to come in through and play onto that side in there. Then we have a team of Werner, sorry, not Timo Werner, Mason Mount is expected to play as a left attacking forward, as Romelu Lukaku is expected to lead the line. And that is how Chelsea is expected to stand as they play a side which goes by the names of Tottenham Hotspur. The game that is happening today, it's a do or die game. It's a die game for both sides. Spurs needs it and Chelsea wins it. If Spurs wins this game, they would have enlightened their chances into the top 4 positions in there. Even if they lose to a team like Arsenal in there for you, you just understand that anything would that they have already set their bar very high, known to be criticized for or be regretful for the win, for the loss against any other team that they're really losing. They have to come in through and hit them bad in there for you. Smash the like button, comment and share, and if at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to our channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. So that is our predicted Spurs lineup as you see it onto the pitch, onto your screen. You see it there very well. 4-3-2-1. That's how I expect Chelsea to come in through and play today. And you can as well go into the comment section and tell us what you think about your prediction in there of how you want your team to start as it plays a side which goes by the names of Tottenham Hotspur. But I really feel like that could be the perfect squad in there for you. I really feel like if at all Lukaku doesn't give in all what we expect him to give him on the field of play, it's better to take him off the pitch and bring on a player who goes by the Kai Havertz early enough. I really think that in the game of a team which goes by the names of Man City, he was really given a lot of time onto the pitch. That's what I really thought, and I really felt that Thomas Tuchel really did bad. He did himself a disjustice because there is no way you keep Lukaku after missing one of the biggest chances of the game in the 50th minute. Take him off and bring in Kai Havertz, because Man City had really taken over and dominated the game. And what did you need? You needed a player who could come in through and really change this game of football by not playing as a centre forward, but by playing as a false 9. A false 9 really doesn't really keep most of his time into that area where a centre forward plays. You just find him, he's like playing a free role in all the forward positions of the team. Left attacking side of the field and the right attacking side of the field, and he can rove around the likes of Mason Mount and Timo Werner or Hakim Ziyech in there, or the Christian Pulisic of this world in there. So I really feel like Lukaku just has 50 minutes into this game. If at all I'm the manager, I play him 50 minutes only. If at all he does not, if at all he really comes up and delivers, then I keep Lukaku onto the pitch. But if at all Lukaku doesn't deliver, I take him off the pitch, because that's what is destined for him, because we brought you here to score goals. If at all you're not scoring goals, why play you yet? Kai Havertz can come in and get that job done immediately because of his hold-up play, his height, and his skill in there. Because I really feel like in all the forwards that Chelsea are having, Kai Havertz is the most skilled of them. Very much skilled player. I like that German player in there. He plays very, very well. His skill is way up there. That is a player who goes by the names of Kai Havertz in there for you. Now, let's go to the head-to-head before we get into the prediction. When you look at the head-to-head, it shows that Chelsea has 32 wins and Spurs has 7. Chelsea have scored 106 goals. Spurs have scored 55 goals. 26 clean sheets have been kept by Chelsea and 9 have been kept by Spurs. On the look of the statistics, you won't argue that a player or a team which goes by names of Chelsea has an upper hand into this game. This London derby that is taking place today, Chelsea really has an upper hand, and they're really way up there, and they're the Igwes of this because they've won many games, 32, and the other one has won 7 in there. That is how much Chelsea have given a beating, or a very big battering, to a team which goes by names of Spurs, and I don't expect Spurs to go on and win this one. How much I support Manchester United, I will feel like Spurs aren't winning this one. Very people will come in and say, oh, Spurs might really come and give us a shocker. Yeah, shocks really happen in the game of football. As you've seen today, Southampton has really drawn with Man City in there, but I really feel like that's not it. That's not all about it in this game, because I really feel like Chelsea have edged Spurs in very many aspects. In the Carabao Cup, it showed you that there is a very big gap between Chelsea and the team which goes by names of Spurs. However much Spurs has Lucas Moura, Song Hyun-min and Harry Kane, they cannot really come up and cause a very big harm to a team which goes by the name of Chelsea, because I look like Chelsea is going to come up, look for a very early goal, and they know to sit back very well, and they know how to defend very well. After doing that, because the best way to describe Chelsea is that they sit back and then attack you. That's a team which goes by names of Chelsea. You get, after they get a goal, and that's going to be their game plan, trust me. They'll dominate the game, but they won't be attacking a lot. They'll be waiting for Spurs to come in through and attack, then they do that break. And I really feel like even Conte is really going to come in and play for respect. He's going to sit back and wait to hold Chelsea onto the break. But it's very hard to hold Chelsea on the break when it's playing with Jorginho and N'Golo Kante into that midfield area, because they are going to be all over. The difference that Spurs has is a player who goes by names of Ndombele. Ndombele plays into that central midfield. He's one of the different players that they're having. He's not a Del Ali. He's not a Harry Winks. He's a different player altogether. When he's playing to that central midfield, he's like a Paul Pogba. He holds that ball. He does play very well, but the problem is he told them that he doesn't want to be at Tottenham Hotspur anymore. And by the way, even the manager Antonio Conte came out and said, I was even shocked by what he told me, because I thought he was going to be here for the entire season until the summer. But he said he wants to move. He wants to move away. And they are in talks with a team which goes by the names of PSG to bring in Jorginho Wijnaldum to Tottenham Hotspur, and then Ndombele crosses to a side which goes by the PSG. And I really feel like Ndombele is a very, very much big blow in the Spurs team, because he does things different. No one does things like him at Spurs. And when he's in that midfield, you will see the likes of Harry Kane making the runs and really getting that ball, and the Lucas Moura's and Song Hyun-min enjoying the game of football. So it shows you that the midfield of Spurs cannot really come out and compete with the midfield of a team which goes by names of Chelsea in there. But I know there will be threats from Harry Kane, Song Hyun-min and Lucas Moura because of their speed and run and skill in there. But I will feel like Chelsea really have an edge in there. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to our channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Your prediction is welcome to the comment section below. I know most of you are really going to watch this video later because you've done it late, but all in all, we have really broken down this game, and it looks like Spurs are going to come here to fight for their lives. The same applies to Chelsea, because if they don't win this one and Spurs wins it, they are also going to be into a battle of fighting for the fourth place, because teams like Manchester United, when you look at their fixture, it really favors them a lot, and they can win their next 5 games, because in the next 5 games, the only big game they have is a team which goes by names of Man City, and they are playing it away. Spurs is going to travel to Old Trafford, and you don't know what's going to happen there, because United looks like ever since Rokani came through, Old Trafford they've turned it into a fortress. You don't just come there and know that you have won that game of football. Today, you've seen what they've done. They've reminded us of those days of Sir Alex Ferguson, the Fergie time. If before the referee blows that whistle, you won't come out and jubilate that you've won against Manchester United. Have you seen it today? So that shows you that they are not here to joke. They are not a joking subject. As one of the famous people in my country, Moses Gola, calls it, I'm not a joking subject. So United are trying to bring that fear factor back at Old Trafford. And oh my, if at all you know that players are coming back, Anton Martial looking great, Cavani, Rashford scoring, Ronaldo playing into that build-up play, all hold-up play very well, Bruno putting up assists, it won't be an easy ride. So Chelsea, please, if at all you want to cement and really make a point that you're really ready to be into the top 4 positions, you have to win the game against Spurs. If Spurs hits you, it's going to be a different story altogether. Spurs will be ahead of you. United will be behind you by 3 points. The same applies to Arsenal in there, because when Arsenal wins all its games, Arsenal looks like they are playing Burnley. Arsenal are playing Burnley tomorrow, and when you look at Arsenal, they've played 20 games, and Chelsea has played 3 more games than a team which goes by the names of Arsenal. And if at all Arsenal wins all its 3 games, they're really going to be at 41 points. You know, they're going to be at 41 points. So that shows you that it's really going to be a very long race in there. So Chelsea, if they are ready to be safe into that position, they need to do one thing: just go out there, win your game of football, and wait for other results in there. But all in all, we wait and see. I really feel like Chelsea is going to win this one by 2-1. It's really going to be a very close margin, because even Spurs are really going to be playing this game like, it's the finale of the top 4 in there. So we wait and see what happens today at the Stamford Bridge. That has been the breakdown in here onto the Rokani Media Football. We love you, those who are really watching in every day, and those that keep subscribing and sharing our videos all over on different social media platforms. I go by the names of Rokani Media, RD. I'm out. Good night.